Okay, it's logo time, people. I'm going to show you how to design on the computer first for the One Tribe logo or whatever logo you want to do. But first, we need to talk about typography. That is the style and appearance of printed matter. If you look at the little graphic here, there's all kinds of terms that go along with typography. And we're not really going to get into that right now, but that's a logo concept I want you to kind of be aware of. So the first thing I want you to do is go to dafont.com, DAFONT.com. Just click one of those families up there and then type in the preview One Tribe or whatever word you're thinking of for this project, and then change the fonts to 200 and hit submit. And now there's a lot of different categories to choose from. We have cartoon, comic, we got some old school, curly, western, just, I don't know, kind of go through each one of those families, see if there's one you like. I kind of like old school for those that maybe you're designing for t-shirts. There's a lot of good ones in there. I just saw a vintage one, kind of distressed. I'd probably stay away from the destroy or horror, as those kind of don't really sell very well. I mean, we got medieval here for those that like old school. The one I would probably suggest is modern. You'll get some nice, decent fonts in there. So kind of scroll down and find one you like. And obviously, don't choose the one I did. I'm choosing Dirty Crown. Here's how you do it. You hit download. And then right down there, you want to, after it gets done downloading, show in folder. Then double click on it. Double click on that little A. Hit install. Hit yes. I've already installed it. It'll install for you. And then the first thing you want to do is you want to go to Photoshop. And then go to File, New. Right there in the title, type in logo, change the pixels to inches, make it like 10 inches by 8 inches, 300 resolution, and then make sure that says transparent. Hit create. Alright, so you're going to click on the T, the type tool, and then go up to the font family on your options bar and find that font you just downloaded. So mine was Dirty Crown. I'm going to select Dirty Crown. Change your size to 72. Just click once in the composition and then just type in One Tribe or whatever the name you have. Obviously, to make it bigger, edit free transform. Make it bigger. And then I really suggest doing this, obviously centering it, but click back on the type tool. And then once you click on the type tool, go up there to your options bar and choose a warp text, and then kind of mess around with the different, things you can choose to make it stand out a little bit, make it not so boring and straight across. I'm choosing arc lower. I don't know, it's kind of got a nice arch there. And then you're thinking, maybe I need to put a little graphic underneath it. So maybe I don't know, some kind of tribal design. So go online and open up a new tab and look up symmetrical tribal design. I mean, that's if you want a symmetrical one. You don't have to do this. I want yours to look different. But try to find one that kind of fits underneath that spot, or maybe you want it on top, whatever. Try to find one that you like. This could take a while because a lot of these are copyrighted, people, but we can work around that a little bit. So when you do find one you like, and I kind of like this one right at the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and copy that. Right click, copy image, and then go back to Photoshop, edit, paste, edit, free transform, make it bigger. And then I'm going to use the rectangular selection tool and select around the one that I want. I don't want the other ones. I'm going to go to select inverse, and then if I hit backspace, it gets rid of all the other ones. So select, deselect, then choose your magic wand tool, and I'm messing around with image adjustments threshold if you want to make sure it's nice and white and black. So I'm going to use the magic wand tool, select the white, then go to select similar, hit backspace, gets rid of the white, select deselect or control D, and there it is, nice and easy for you. Now I'm going to transform it. Edit, transform, flip, vertical. That way, I changed it up a little bit. It's not exactly like it was. I'm going to edit free transform it, put it right underneath there. Hey, look at that. We got a logo. Now maybe I want to type in, I don't know, established 1927, because that's when Fairfield High School was established. So maybe you want to put that on your shirt. You don't have to. I just want to do it. So edit free transform. Make it a little smaller. Move it right there. Always use the guides. The guides are your friends. See those? Just wonderful. And then there's your logo. You can actually save this if you just want a one color design. And then you can go to, I don't know what I'm doing here. File, transform. Oh yeah, if I want to warp it, I can't warp it because it hasn't been rasterized yet. So I kind of want to put a perspective on it. So what I need to do is, and you'll see me do it, I'll right click over here, go to rasterize type, then go to edit, transform perspective, and then if you grab that one right there, you can make it go in, we can go out. So I kind of want to make it go out like that. There, it's all done. Now I can save that as a logo. So right now, if you want to do blending options, I strongly suggest that. I always love strokes, so I went into blending options, gave it a white stroke, maybe a red stroke. Totally your call. You know, play around with the colors a little bit. Experiment. Maybe you want it gray, and then maybe you want to put a drop shadow on it. No, I don't want green, I want black. So I'm going to change it to black. I do not want the size at all. I want to turn the size and spread down to 0, and just want a really hard drop shadow. So I click OK. Yeah, it looks nice. It looks sharp. So again, you can leave it like this, or, you know, file, export, quick export. There's your logo. There's one logo. So logo, maybe logo 2. So hit save. I have 2 logos. All right, what else can you do? You can also change the color and blending options on your icon that you used, or you can change the color on your letters. It don't always have to be the same color. You can, you know, mess around with it. You should have a decent variety. Don't save just one. I would like you to save at least, you know, 5 or 6. And if you want to see what they look like on different shirts, make a new layer, new layer. You know, use a paint bucket. So this is a black shirt. This is what it's going to look like. You can change it to a gray shirt. Obviously, if you change it to a gray shirt, you lose the text on established 1927. So that's probably not a good idea unless you do a blending option. Okay, here's what a red shirt looks like. Maybe I do want to do a stroke around that. Maybe a white stroke. So yeah, definitely play around with the colors. Play around with blending options. Do not forget about blending options. You can do so much with blending options. So here we go. I got one that I like. What am I trying to do here? Oh, I'm trying to change the stroke to all the same. There we go. They're all white stroke. So I like this. So file, export, quick export. I've already made 3 logos. So this is 3 logos right here. Hit save. All right, what else can we do? Well, let's see. Instead of using a tribal design, why don't we go to Google Images and look up, let's see, tribe logo, just to see, I don't know, see what kind of ideas are out there, and hit images. This is just to get an idea. Now, if you want to use the Indian, you can. I mean, a lot of people want to get away from the Indian. They just want to, you know, kind of be more ambiguous. And so the hard part is trying to find a decent graphic that goes along with your word. Do you always need a graphic? No. Does it help? Maybe. I don't know. You have to really know who you're selling to. So now I'm going to try to look up arrow. See if there's any good arrow designs. I have a feeling I'm going to get a lot of, you know, not bow and arrows, but like those type of arrows. So this might be let's try tribal design, arrow tribal design. See if there's any decent ones here. Again, the selection is pretty poor. Always make sure you look up large images. I cannot stress that enough, people. Do not copy images that are smaller than 500 pixels. So as I search here for decent arrows to kind of use or get an idea of, hopefully you have something in your head. Like I said, you don't have to use arrows. You don't have to use Indians. I want you guys to be creative. You know, we're selling the shirts for you guys. A lot of people complained that there wasn't a big enough selection of logos. So that's why we're doing this project. It also, you know, it helps us simulate a real world scenario. Oh, here's one I like. I like this one. So I'm going to right click, copy image. I like those arrows. I'm going to go to edit, paste. I'm going to use a magic wand and select the background. Move that layer up to the top so I can see what I'm doing. If I hit backspace, it gets rid of all that white. Now I'm going to use just a regular lasso tool. I'm going to select around the established, hit backspace, the 2021, hit backspace, the hunting with the arrow. Make sure I get all of it. Backspace, there, it's gone. And now select, deselect, edit, free transform. Make it bigger, smaller. You can put it right there, maybe behind it. It's totally your call. There's 8 million ways to do this, people. Now, if I hold down Shift in Edit Free Transform, I can actually skewer it just a little bit like I just did. And then maybe I'm going to turn off that and retype in the established 1927. So click EST period. And then move that over where I think I need it to go. And it's just easier to right click, duplicate that layer, and then select it and type in 1927 and then use a move tool. Move it over. Okay, that doesn't look very balanced, so we might have to move up, yeah, right about there, and then take the EST. Oh, wrong layer, dummy. Get off the wrong layer. I gotta get that perfect. There we go. Go to the EST layer, and then move that accordingly. Now, obviously, you can do blending options on these as well, and you will see me do that here shortly, making sure everything looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and export it as a logo. So logo 4, save. That fits it on a red shirt. Maybe I want to see what it looks like with a heather gray shirt. So look up heather gray. You don't have to do this, just only if you want to see what it looks like. Go to images, get a heather gray that you like, right click, copy image, edit, paste, edit, free transform, make it bigger. There we go. This is what it looks like if it's on a gray sweatshirt or gray hoodie. Looks kind of nice. I like the colors. Maybe I want to add a little color, so do like a little red stroke outline. Can do that. Hit OK. Maybe, I don't know. I'm on the wrong layer. I haven't figured it out yet. I'm just like, why is it not turning red? Why is it not turning gray? Well, you're on the wrong layer. And I'll figure it out here short enough. There we go. Hit OK. Oh, there it is. Now let's try blending options. Maybe do a color overlay. Maybe I want it red. And then maybe I want a black stroke outline. Let's see what that looks like. There we go. Yeah, I like that. That's too thick. All right, there we go. Hit OK. Right click, copy layer style. Go back to the established paste layer style. Hopefully you remember that from previous projects. That way you don't have to sit there and fuss with the other blending options. And then maybe you want to do a blending option on the arrows. I put a little red stroke. You know, get the size that I need it at. Hit OK. And then file, export, quick export. Look, we've already done 5 logos and it hasn't even been 15 minutes yet. So this is pretty easy once you get the hang of it. So what else can you do? Well, let's make a new document. File, new. Change that to inches. I'm just going to try something new. 10 inches. 8 inches, 300. Don't forget to type in logo new. I'm just trying something new. Click on T. I'm going to use the same exact font, except this time I'm not going to type in 1. I'm just going to type in tribe. TR. Except for the I actually use the number 1. Edit. Free transform. I'm going to make that bigger. So you can see the number 1 in the middle. I want to actually make the number 1 just a little bit bigger. So I'm going to go back to the type tool, select the 1, and then go up to the size and make it considerably bigger. I made it considerably bigger than the other size font so it stands out. Now you can even do that and change the color as well. But first I want to warp the text. Okay, I would not suggest doing a flying or the wave or the flag or any of those. I mean, you can. I don't know what people like. I just think, you know, maybe simpler ones look better, kind of like that, you know, kind of an arch, because the logo usually goes on the center of the chest. And then I got the type tool, I selected the 1, and I can actually change it to red up on the options bar. That's something cool you can do. And then I'll go into blending options, turn on a stroke, make it red, same color as the number. But maybe I want a white stroke outline as well. There's a way that you can do that. You right click, rasterize layer style. It gets rid of that, and then you can go back into stroke and change it to white. So now you have 2 colors. And then you can make that white stroke really big. It looks nice. Let's see what it looks like on a black shirt. So I made a new layer, new layer. Use my paint bucket and change it to black. I'm just going to drag that down. Look at that. That's a beautiful logo. It's simple and only took me like 5 seconds. Yeah, I mean, that looks pretty nice. So I could save this, or I could put a little graphic on it. I'm just going to save it and call it logo 6. So that's how you do computer logos. Now, if you want to do hand-drawn logo design, you still need to computerize it, but first we kind of got to draw it. So when you draw it, just maybe try to experiment with the way the letters go in and out of each other, or next to each other. Really, maybe look into I don't know, different ways online that people can do logos. And you can see I kind of interlaced my letters, and I don't know, I kind of went with this weird looking font, and then I just traced it in Sharpie. You want to trace it in Sharpie, get it nice and crisp, and then obviously erase all the pencil marks because you just want the Sharpie. And then you're going to take a picture of it on your phone. Make sure you get it good lighting. Get it from your Google Photos. Get it on your computer somehow. Like maybe punch up the contrast. And you want to go around with an eraser and make sure you get rid of all these little nasty spots right here. So I'm using an eraser and a polygonal lasso tool to really kind of clean this up a little bit, get rid of all those marker bleeds. Maybe I didn't like that part, so I'm going to take that, make a new layer, or new layer via copy, and then I flipped it, put it on there, and then again flatten it. If you need help with that, just come see me. But really, you just want to spend this time cleaning up your logo, going down, getting rid of all the little marker bleeds. La 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 la. You want to make it look nice as you can. And obviously we didn't use a scanner. You can take it. It works just as well with your phone, people. And really clean up any marker bleed. Make it look nice. You might want to, like I said, you might want to punch up the contrast. I'm using Magic Wand tool. Select those white spots. Now I'm going to file, so you can see the gray. So file, export, save it as a PNG. Then I want you to open up Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator, if you haven't done that yet. And then you're going to click on Common right there. Click on Common, File, Place, get your image. I think, forgot where last. Oh, it's in my downloads. And you're just going to click once, and you might have to edit, transform it where you like it. You're going to go to image trace, and you just hit this little box is going to pop up. You probably want to punch up the threshold a little bit and then hit trace. And it's really cool how that works. It makes it nice and crisp. If you zoom in, you can see nasty spots. So if it's still open in Photoshop, I'm going to go back up to Photoshop and I'm going to find those nasty spots. I'm going to use a white brush that's really hard and kind of small, and I'm just going to paint over those nasty spots on the where it shows up. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit, when I get done, see there's one back there too, so I need to find that one. I think that was right there, I'm not sure. Alright, or was it up here? Alright, let's see how that looks. So get any of those nasty spots that show up. File, export, save over it. Yes, save over it. Now watch this. It's going to say like that. You just hit yes, and it's going to clean it up for you. It looks like I missed that spot. Where is that? Where am I? Oh, it's right there. I was in the wrong spot. Oops, messed up. All right. So I'm going to select that. Oh, yeah, there's all that gray stuff. So I'm going to actually use my polygonal lasso tool and select around that. And then use my white brush, color over that so nice and crisp now. File, export, save over it. Yes. Go back here, hit yes. Hey, look at that. I cleaned it up. So make sure it's still open in Photoshop. And then you can go back and see if there's any other spots you need to clean up. So if I look right here on the O, it didn't look really thick enough. So I'm going to get a black brush, really, really tiny, hard, and really take my time and go over this so it's nice and thick like the other parts. Real slow, real slow. There we go. You just want to make sure you get the same thickness everywhere. You might have to use a little white on this as well. Clean up that white. Switch back to black. Make it small again. Connect that. That wasn't connected. Alright, any other spots? I'm just going to spot check a little bit here. With the white brush, export, yes. Go back here, hit yes. It cleans it up for you. Look at that. It does it in real time. So just leave it open in both Photoshop and Illustrator, and then you can go back and forth. Oop, there's a spot right there I need to clean up. So let's clean that up. I'm on Photoshop. I'm just fine-tuning it. Okay, where else? I haven't hit save yet though. Oop, use the eraser tool on that one. Oops, I accidentally erased on the white. I don't need to do that. Oops, switch back to white brush. There we go. Color over that. There we go. Alright, file, export, save, yes, save over it, hit yes. And let's see what this looks like. View, fit all in window. Looks pretty good. Maybe that E's a little thick, but I don't know. Maybe go there. It doesn't look too thick, but I'm just going to slim it down just a little bit. Hit backspace, there we go. So utilize all your tools, save over it, hit yes. Didn't really do anything, but it still looks good. Alright, so next you want to go to Object, Expand, hit OK, File, Save As. Make sure you save it on your computer. I'm not doing it right now. I just hit save. It saved it on the cloud. And then I'm going to go back to Photoshop and I'm going to wonder, why can't I find it anywhere? Because it's in the cloud. And it's just easier to save it onto your computer. So File, Save As. Make sure it's on your computer. Save it as something that you know what it is. Save As on your computer. And one tribe vector, because it's a vector file. Now I'm going to open up that vector file in Photoshop, and you can see the difference. It's so much cleaner, so much nicer looking. So I'm going to go ahead and use a magic wand tool and select the background on the new vectorized one, and then maybe make a new layer or color this in red. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Using the paint bucket, colored in red. Maybe put a drop or a stroke on it, a white stroke. Move that up just a little bit. There we go. Did a drop shadow. Hit OK. I'm going to rasterize this layer style so I can put on another black stroke. And then mess around with that just a little bit. And then if you need to, you can actually edit free transform it, rotate it a little bit. And there you go. That's how you do a hand-drawn logo. File, export, quick export. Save it as logo 7. And you're done. That's how you design logos, people. It's not that hard. Hopefully you have a little fun. Hopefully you learn something.